Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam, the podcast. We're joined by Matt Murphy and Phil Conley, the originals, the OGs of WrestleSlam. And this podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.com and the Macau Casino, Cork City. So, yet again, a big hello to everyone that does tune in. Just before we just start the show, we just have to give a quick shout out to Jimmy Evans. Jimmy, how are you, sir? He's a big fan on Twitter, and he's always tagging us on Twitter. So, Jimmy Evans, a big hello to you, my man, from all of us here in Cork. We've changed the structure of the show, guys. Moving forward, we finally are at peace, I believe. We are going to record all our shows on a Monday night. The shows will go out Tuesday night at 8 p.m. So, a lot of our Irish fans do say that we put out the show a bit late, after 10 o'clock, and there's a lot of complaints, which is good. So they want to see the show a bit earlier. So look, every Tuesday the show will premiere at 8 p.m. on YouTube, guys. And look, we'll have little links and snippets on Twitter.
Also, as well in the future as well, we're working on Spotify, so bear with us.
Bear with us, guys. Like, I think the bizarre thing, guys, and we're very open and honest. Like, we're all extremely busy, but we love the WrestleSlam podcast. You know, we are Ireland's number one podcast when it comes to wrestling. We have been for many years. We're the OGs, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, I suppose, you know, interviews and, you know, I suppose podcasts in general. But we are a bit lackadaisy on our social media perspective. You know, we don't really use our Instagram, even though I'm actually using it the last couple of weeks for WrestleSlam. We don't really use our Facebook page, but we do use Twitter. We go missing from time to time on Twitter, you know, maybe for 2-3 days. But that's just normal in the life of a human being today. There's not enough hours in the day, but look, we do appreciate all the support and all the comments. So yet again, thank you for supporting us. So good news, guys. We will have a guest on next week. We have a female joining us, a massive wrestling fan. We will say no more, but she will be on with us next week. We have the return of the Don, Timmy Cronin. Timmy's going to be on with us in a couple of weeks, guys. And I'm going to say
Is he still alive?
Yeah. Timmy's still alive. Yeah, he survived. He survived a couple of shark attacks. He was out in Miami with Conor McGregor and a few guys, and they had a party, and he jumped off the boat, and there was a shark attack, I believe, but apparently he punched a shark in the fucking eye. And
he also got so drunk with Vladimir Kozlov that he went with for 2 days.
And the rumors are true that he was backstage at Backlash as well. He was hanging out with Vince and Triple H, and you know, he was spotted backstage.
I don't think he punched a shark. It wasn't any ordinary shark. I think it was actually the Megalodon shark actually rose out, tried to attack Timmy, and he just karate punched it. So that was happening. Like,
nobody messes with the Don, but Tim Cronin, guys, will be back in due course. So do stay tuned. Now, we might have the return of one of the OGs. I'm going to mention that. We've reached out. We're in negotiation as we speak. And we hope that the OG, a man that lives in Cork, on the border of Cork, Limerick, he claims to be a Limerick man when Limerick are winning all Ireland's, even though I think he should be a Cork man. But look, one of the OGs might be back. He's been very busy. He's put a lot of work into wrestling these last couple of years. He's kind of burnt out, but I believe he will come back, hopefully, and we'll have him on the podcast maybe once a month, which is incredible. So do stay tuned for that. Lots of stuff happening here at WrestleSlam. Now, a brand new feature that we're going to do, guys. Irish abroad. So JD McDonough, Valkyrie, I still call it Aoife Valkyrie, also Lyra Valkyrie, Becky Lynch, Sheamus. We have many Irish buttes that have been imported to America and beyond. So I'm going to touch base first. JD McDonough. We know him as Jordan Devlin via OTT, and what a guy! It couldn't have happened to a better guy. We're lucky enough to know Jordan quite well. We've been to like we've been with him after he's won the OTT championship directly straight afterwards. We've sat with him at WrestleMania in a press box, which is quite incredible. We've seen him in Cork all around the shores of Ireland, but he's been drafted to Raw, guys. It's something that we need to talk about because obviously we didn't do our show last week due to technical difficulties. But listen, JD McDonough, Matt Murphy, first of all, he's moved to Raw. What's your thoughts? What will happen? What can you see happen? How far does he go? Does he get properly used? You know, I believe Shawn Michaels is a great fan of JD McDonough. I wish he went back to Jordan Devlin, by the way. I hope that's something that they will change, but we'll see what happens. But what's your thoughts on JD McDonough, first of all?
Yeah, we forgot to mention one highlight. He did compliment on my jacket that one time we went up to Dublin to see Shawn Michaels. So that was a great highlight for JD McDonough himself. No, because of all the many things that Triple H and everyone else heard from NXT, I really hope they're going to use him well. I mean, I think it was Phil was like pitching that he could join the Judgment Day because of course we all know by now it's like he's one of the last students of Finn Balor, so having him on the main roster, working with someone that he knows so well, someone who knows him, could actually be at least like a bit of a boost. I remember back in NXT, he wanted to get out of the shadow, but it'll be a good like starter for him on the main roster, even if he's going to be against Finn. Would be like just a great starting point for him. But I can see him going after. I can actually see him being bold, like what he did with the NXT, was calling out like the main champion, calling out the big dogs. I could see him lads actually calling out. I can actually see him calling out. Is Gunther on SmackDown or Raw?
Raw.
So many going
Yeah.
Raw. I could see him calling out Gunther. That defeated the bitch. Saying, is he on Raw? But yeah, I can see him. I wouldn't say that he'll win, but this will be a big push for him. So we all just want to see JD McDonough or Jordan Devlin. I'm still trying to get used to the name JD McDonough, lads. But sure, look, I'm really delighted to see. I want to see him do well in the main roster, lads.
And Matt, I'm glad you mentioned JD McDonough and Gunther, that we know of Walter. For all the wrestling fans out there today, go to OTT Demand and you will see some of the most epic matches in all of pro wrestling, where obviously JD McDonough, aka Jordan Devlin, takes on Gunther, aka Walter, at OTT. And they've got a lot of history. It's a match. Well, matches, but it's a match that we've seen a match in the presence, and it was just it was iconic. So I like what Matt's saying, that maybe JD McDonough, obviously at Raw, he calls out Gunther. I can see it happening. Phil, what's your thoughts on JD McDonough going to Judgment Day? They're really kind of hot at the moment, a bit of a feud with LWO. Is it the case of they don't need him? They can they're doing their thing. Can they add a new member and make it look good, or does JD McDonough just do his own thing and go on a mission?
This is so tricky because you just mentioned LWO, and according to WWE, they're strictly doing the draft starting today for Raw tonight.
Yeah.
So if it was me, I would definitely put him in Judgment Day and turn Balor face and get Balor out of there. Balor's drowning. I honestly think he's really struggling in that group, Balor. Like everyone else seems so important that he's kind of just there. I'll be the guy who, like, even there now at Backlash, he was the guy who came down and took all the moves. There's no kind of not a significant role, but there's no sort of sense of importance about him anymore in the group.
Yeah, and you say it how it is. That's what I like. You do say it how it is. There's no bullshit. It's I think I agree. Like Balor is
a face turn is what he needs.
Yeah. And does he turn on them or do they turn on him, is the question?
JD McDonough, well, he should bring out McDonough, and McDonough should just turn on him straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to see Balor leaving the Judgment Day because, to be fair, maybe it was just me. When he was facing off against Edge at WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley was facing off against Charlotte, Dominic was facing Rey, Damian Priest. Everyone said about Damian Priest. Well, me saying, what's Damian Priest doing? He's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Now this year, Backlash, he had a good rivalry with Bad Bunny, which to me probably one of the best matches of the card. But that's just me saying out loud. And everyone is now looking at Finn Balor the same thing. What's Finn doing? So you never know, lads. That's the best example. It's like saying this fella did nothing, that won't pay per view. Now this fella's not doing anything.
The biggest thing for JD McDonough is not getting lost in that shuffle, because I don't want to see him fight The Miz one week and then The Miz again and then a few other matches that nothing. He needs something that's going to propel him onto the next level.
Yeah.
Phil, who would bring the best out of JD? Like, when you look at all the stars on that roster, who would bring the best out of JD McDonough? It's obviously Gunther, like Walter.
Well, they know each other and they're comfortable with each other. So yeah, that would probably make the most sense. I'm just worried about him doing what I just said about fighting the Miz one week and then in 5-6 weeks' time being fodder for Amos.
That's a big cliche, but maybe with Triple H in charge now, maybe he's going to keep an eye on that. I think, that's something we might see.
But if John's Judgment Day, then we get our answer. So
it could be. I'm still not posing that he shouldn't join Judgment Day. That was still a pitch idea. We don't really see that, but it's just him facing Gunther because these two know each other so well, and you can make a good story out of it. Like Gunther would just see him as just some rookie coming on the mid card, not like they already have history, brush that aside, and they'll actually bring the best two out of each other. So that'd be a good introduction to JD, and it'll bring a lot out of Gunther as well.
Also, as well, Judgment Day. I was trying to figure out who they feud with next. My head tells me it's going to be the Way without Austin Theory. I think I think they're coming back. I think they're going to start it off today, later tonight.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Indy Hart. Well, sure, they're married, aren't they? In kayfabe, Indy Hartwell.
Indy Hartwell. I thought she is injured on the NXT.
Yeah, but it's not. That's going to keep her out for a long time. I think she'll be back. I think they'll kick off the Way again because they need something for all of those guys to do.
I still have a strong soft spot for Index lads. Dexter and Indy Hartwell, and my heart goes out. Yeah, call me out, lads. Anyone call me out, but no, I stand by it. I stand by it. I almost knocked over my camera, but stand by that, lads.
Like if I was doing long-term booking in WWE, I'd have Balor turn face and lead a new faction with Lyra Valkyrie and two others.
An Irish faction, like
that doesn't even have to be an Irish faction. It could just be someone to go up against the Judgment Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or not even Irish faction. Just like an Irish faction, but the whole gimmick is not. They're not Irish. That is not Irish gimmick. They just so happen to be the same nationality. Just like hint like that.
Yeah. Now speaking. Go on, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad you mentioned Lyra Valkyrie, Lyra Valkyrie.
Yeah.
She's not lost one bit. She's flying in NXT, guys. Flying. She's the second girl I wanted to speak about in regards to our Irish, our golden Irish over in America. She is absolutely flying, isn't she? She's got everything about her. She's got a great entrance, great wrestler, great all rounder. Her promos, guys, are epic. Epic. And we speak of Aoife, and we know Aoife many years, doing probably her first interview with her 6-7 years ago, and then obviously, doing stuff then throughout the years. Her promos are incredible.
Yeah. Of course she's flying, Jerry. She's a Valkyrie.
Hey, Matt, come on, man. But she's flying, and I think she's on the brink of something big in NXT, guys. I reckon she's going to be the women's champion within 6 months. I really do.
I think Cara and Cora Jade are both going to be the future. Two of them are standouts. I think maybe a year's time we might see her on Raw or SmackDown.
I'm gonna say it right now. Aoife's gonna be in the Royal Rumble next year. No problem.
I'd like it.
I'm gonna say it straight. She is.
Yeah. I like it.
So yeah.
It's a good.
Now we have to mention obviously Balor, guys. Phil could have covered the whole Balor thing. He reckons Balor's a bit lost in Judgment Day.
He's just kind of like. Do you know what the big thing is when I watch Judgment Day? Right, all of the lads look like stars, and he just has his. What's this thing he has? Balor 9 staples or something.
Yeah.
T-shirts, and it's
but
just like.
Could he be the next? Could he be the next heavyweight champion?
I'm going to say. No, but because Seth Rollins probably deserves it.
But will he be close? Are we we're looking at that draw? Will he'll be the final? Yeah.
Yeah, the final. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because I think we need to forget, lads. He never lost the Universal title.
Yeah, I think that match again. They've done that match for the Universal belt. It'll be the same match.
That'll be something I want to see. If Seth Rollins wins the world title, and I can see him actually challenging Finn Balor at SummerSlam. And that would be kind of like a reminder. This is what Finn Balor was like against Seth Rollins. Like good rematch. I would love to see that happening.
Yeah.
Well, Balor, Finn is box office, guys. There's no, like, you put Finn in any match that's main event. He's box office.
You need to book him in the right scenario. Like, you can't just have this demon out of nowhere. Like, this demon should have been built up for the Edge match. Like, everyone knew it was coming, but it was just hard to get behind because there was no build to it.
Yeah.
I was on board for it, but then they I don't know if this is going to get taken down by copyright issues, but like it was a Finn Balor versus Edge, and of course the advert for the Pope's Exorcist showed up, and I was like, oh, that fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, Russell Crowe. For God's sake, lad.
Yeah. But that was cool. That was a cool moment when Russell Crowe narrated wrestling. I think that was great.
Yeah, mind blowing. One of the greats. We have to mention
Sheamus.
Russell
Crowe, we need to take one more take. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't.
What's your thoughts on Sheamus, guys? Look, we know he's had some great matches, but with Gunther, I really thought he'd be Intercontinental champion by now.
Yeah.
Is Sheamus still on the up? Is he still there?
He's in a restart at the moment now.
Yeah.
All the guys he was feuding with are all either left or they're gone to different brands. Sheamus is a tricky one. I think he should fight Roman Reigns, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it makes sense too.
Yeah.
I love Sheamus, and I'm not gonna lie, he has one big career. I mean, he wasn't the first I can really think of all Irish wrestler that actually made it all the way to WWE. He didn't have the best world title championship reign, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. Yeah. But I would love to see him taking on Roman Reigns as well. I'm now officially invested with his Celtic workouts, his Celtic Warrior workouts,
which are pretty good. But Sheamus, he's a 2-time WWE champion, isn't he? And a 1-time World Heavyweight champion.
Yeah, he's won a lot of belts. I think the Intercontinental belt is the only one.
He's the only one, and he will get that, lads. There's no doubt he's gonna finish off with everything. And I reckon he'll build a big castle back in Ireland. He might come to Cork. I know he's a Leinster man. I know we have that bit of beef about Munster and Leinster, and he's put me in my place on camera when it comes to Leinster and Munster rugby. But Sheamus,
it's fucking hilarious.
There's a lot of beautiful houses in West Cork where we would love to have you in West Cork, protect West Cork and to have you in presence would be great. But it's
weird because if you think of Sheamus, right, he's won everything else but the IC belt. He's won King of the Ring, Royal Rumble, and Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? He's had everything.
Yeah. He's a Vince guy, though. I think Vince appreciates the hard work. Like, he gets on with it. Like, Sheamus is there 365, you know what I mean? He's always on the go, like.
No, because like Sheamus has done so much. Like, I do stand by what he said about his title reigns not being the best, but like he did so much, you would think of it. But yeah, if he wins the IC title from Gunther, at least that'll just be like, that now he can look back and be like, yeah.
It would be great if it happened at Money in the Bank in London. I know London is it's not Ireland, but like you have a lot of Irish fans going over, like.
Yeah. It'd be great for a European wrestler even to just win Money in the Bank.
Yeah, he'll get a great pop. He'll get a great pop. Right, I'm going to mention, guys, Backlash. A lot of our fans tuning in right now want our predictions on Backlash. Now, Phil Connolly automatically nodded his head, and I haven't really talked to Phil. I haven't talked to you since Backlash, so I'm curious, Phil. What did you think of Backlash?
Do you know what? I actually thought it was even better than Elimination Chamber. My only thing about it is Bad Bunny should have been main event.
He looked really good. When he came out, he had that kind of like, he looked like an animal. Like,
what was so good about it is just watching it. Like, you just felt like a fan watching that match, and that's how wrestling should be.
Yeah,
he's really good though, like, isn't he?
Oh, he was savage, and then you had the Carlito and the Savio Vega stuff. It was just when wrestling's done right, this is it. This is just so good.
And Carlito got some pop, lads.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, but I joined in so much with all the Carlito as well when Carlito came out. Like, I was just like, oh, what a man! Like, what a man! Seriously, look at him, lads. For God's sake,
he never fought a few days ago, so.
Yeah, he was. It's is Carlito done, or is he going to be around for a bit?
They're trying to get him to come around, I think, but I don't know what he
doesn't, like, I think he plays there. He's kind of happy enough the way he is now, isn't he? He does movies and he's into TV shows.
He's got a training school or something.
Yeah. I mean, like, he just came back from one hell of a match against Renzo Rose.
Yeah.
Got the name right. So we need to do that now, lads.
Yeah.
Just also as well for Backlash, a shout out to the fans are incredible.
They were. Jesus, they're really invested. Like even Selena Vega, did you see that?
Yeah, no, she deserves the moment. I know the match wasn't particularly brilliant.
Yeah,
but she got a big pop out of it.
Yeah,
she was very emotional. Like I think, and Bailey, guys, Bailey was trending. Phil, do you want to mention why?
Bailey was trending because she was leaving, is what I saw.
No. I think it was more costume wise.
Was there more? I didn't see that. I actually didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Really?
Oh, no, I didn't. I was like, why is she trending? It's like, no, I didn't actually see that at all.
Yeah, she was trending. So credit where it's due. Credit where it's due. The Bloodline defeated Matt Riddle and the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Bad Bunny defeated Damian Priest in a great match. Rhea Ripley defeated Selena Vega. Austin Theory defeated Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Good to see Bronson Reed in a big match and a big pay-per-view like that.
Can I just say about that match? Why was it 6 minutes? Surely they could have got another 6.
They could, yeah. I think they were just kind of, I suppose, when you have Cody and Brock and Rollins and Omos. It's interesting. But yeah, it should have been a lot longer. I completely agree. Yeah. It's a good triple threat for a good belt.
I know you're going to mention it, but Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, 9 minutes. The main event was 9 minutes.
Yeah, and the finish was weak. The finish was
it
was.
I didn't know what to make. I knew if I felt like if Brock Lesnar would have won, because I could see a storyline what they're building with Cody. They're doing like the John Cena losing to The Rock, John Cena being on losing streak, same with Cody Rhodes till he faces Roman Reigns. If Brock beats Cody, that would be a good story out of Cody. If Cody would have won, that would just show that they're not just burying him just for the sake of it. But when he won, I could see that they're going to make him more triumphant with his facing against Roman at next year's WrestleMania. But it was just, like what Phil said, it was a weak finish. Such a weak finish it was.
Yeah, it was a shame.
It was very lackluster. It was very, like, it's over.
Yeah, no, it was. Obviously, Seth freaking Rollins defeated Omos. Obviously, we had Bianca Belair.
That was a dark horse match. That was very good.
Yeah, it was. They're two good athletes, two good wrestlers. I think credit where it's due to Bianca Belair, guys. She's defining records. She's incredible.
It's just a shame that her title reign is going to end so dumbly.
Yeah, it will, and that's the horrible thing. Do you know what I mean? It'd be good if she lost it in a good match. Say like an iron match or some cage match or something where she's unresponsive and she goes out that way rather than just gets pinned in 10 seconds.
Well, they're going to just switch the belts. They're just going to swap them. So
yeah, that seems to be the case.
I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it.
Yeah. Obviously we know Cody Rhodes defeated Brock Lesnar. A great scalp for Cody. So guys, I want to mention quickly the World Heavyweight Champion. They announced the names that will be in the mix. If it's a Raw, SmackDown, say if a guy from SmackDown wins it, they go to Raw. We know that now. There was a bit of confusion about that. But you mentioned Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah.
You reckon Rollins has a Phil, yeah?
Cody Rhodes and Brock are going to fight again in Saudi, which is really annoying, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's the money maker, like, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to fight again at Saudi Arabia, so Brock's going to cost Cody whatever match he's in.
Yeah.
Leading up to it.
Yeah. Like, Matt, do you reckon, like, you look at the names on that list, you've Rey Mysterio, you've got Edge, which is a big name, a guy that's, he held that goal for so many years and, so many pay-per-views. Just does Seth freaking Rollins stand out for you? Is he the guy that deserves it? Did they give it to him because he's been so good, so consistent? He's the guy everyone wants to see it with. Or do we see someone like Edge, a dark horse that's probably got so many more matches left in his career? Is he the guy that could be in the mix? We mentioned Balor. Maybe Balor gets to the final. He loses narrowly. How do you see it going? Who's your last two, and who wins it?
It should be two Raw wrestlers. It should be two Raw wrestlers.
Two Raw wrestlers. Oh, well, thank you, Phil, for the clarification. But anyway, I mean, I can see Seth Rollins definitely winning this one because there's so much build up behind him. But it's going to be too obvious. Okay, he's not my final two, but I am going to call it Seth Rollins will win this one, and I can see him actually win this. But I can actually see, oddly enough, I'm going to call out for this one, Edge. He did prove he still have a few matches underneath his belt, and he never lost the world title. Different design, but still the same world title. And I'm going to be also bold on this one. You mentioned him, has to be Finn Balor. You never know. You never know that. It might be an unpredicted win, and this would get people talking. So many people talking about this is unexpected, and it's going to make Judgment Day look big as well. We got the women's champion, you got the world champion.
Looking at the list there, I actually wouldn't surprise me if it's Nakamura or Balor versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, Nakamura is back as well.
Well, he's getting a bit of a big pitch again,
Yeah.
Nakamura, there was a weird comment. I just wanted to bring it as I wanted to mention it here because let's see what you think of it. I think it was Dutch Mantel said that if a wrestler hasn't moved up the card in 3-4 years, that it should just automatically be fired. I don't know what you think of that. He was like, because you're wasting so much money on them, they've already been there 4 years. People know who they are.
Yeah, you're right. There should be a window, you know what I mean?
There's guys there that are there 12 years, like The Miz is there nearly 20 years. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Miz, yeah.
Like he's not crazy, getting worse. And that segment last week on Raw was abysmal.
Do you think he's pissed off? I'm glad you missed that. Do you think The Miz is absolutely pissed off?
I don't know. Is he pissed off or is he just coasting because he's knows that he's in his 40s and his time is up?
Yeah, he's a smart man, though.
And he's just had a bit of a huge roller coaster of a career,
Yeah. Then a guy that's won everything,
Yeah.
Right, we have to mention quickly, guys, for all you Rebel County wrestling fans. Unfortunately, their show has been postponed. So, Hooked on a Feeling RCW, that will be postponed, and the new date will be Saturday, the 10th of June. Now, we were informed about this a few days ago, and obviously we didn't want to spill the news because obviously it's RCW's job to do that. But all I will say is, upon speaking to RCW, and we have a lot of stuff in common with them in the coming weeks, but something big is happening this summer, guys. Something big. And I can honestly say right here, right now, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's going to be big, big. So all you Rebel County wrestling fans, and look, we're seeing fans from all over Ireland come down to Cork, for the weekend for these events. Just hold tight. So that event has been postponed, and that will now take place on Saturday, June 10th. All tickets purchased for that weekend, for this weekend, of course, will be accepted on June 10th, and refunds will also be given to those who can't attend. And they want to say thank you for understanding. They look forward to seeing you all on June 10th. There's just a number of reasons, guys, and I suppose the number one reason, I suppose there was a bit of a clash with talent, in the sense of, there's a lot of stuff happening around the country, and they want to make sure fans are getting the best show possible. So
that's fair. That's fair enough.
Yeah, June 10th. We're absolutely good because we love our RCW shows in Cork, but just make sure you book off June 10th, guys, Saturday. And then again, the tickets are valid for that date. If you don't and you can't make it, you're away on holidays, then refunds are available. But I know for a fact people are looking for tickets. So RCW Hooked on a Feeling postponed till June 10th. Right, guys, anything else we can cover just before we finish up?
There's a couple of things I wanted to bring up really fast.
Yeah.
Trinity.
Filled with a couple of things as I know.
Well, AEW sold 60,000 tickets to Wembley.
Yes.
Which is incredible, if that's true. Yeah. And also, I'm worried that scalpers have tickets, which is not good for anyone.
What's the current price right now? It's over 150 quid for a ticket, is that?
The cheapest one for 60, but that would be you won't be able to see anything hardly, I'd say.
Yeah, you'll see a little dot.
Yeah. But it's just that, again, it might just be something that you might want to just be in their atmosphere and soak it up.
Yeah.
I know
it'll be electric. Yeah. There'll be a lot of promo stuff in due course, guys.
Well, there's a lot of our buddies going over. I think Tim is going, is he?
Tim's going, yeah. Darren Blake's going. We'll be there. And there's a lot of stuff coming up. There's a lot of stuff coming up. But It's not a major surprise. I'm saying all along, guys. I think people, they don't hop on the bandwagon, but there's a bit of a momentum. Like, people want to see. Like, people were saying, "Oh, there's no way All Elite can sell fucking 80,000 tickets, 100,000 tickets." People jump on the bandwagon. They wanna define the odds and say, "Yeah, fuck that. We'll help the wave and we'll get it there."
If Tony Khan wanted to forgive Irish wrestling fans, he would book a showcase OTT match on that show. I'm telling you.
There you heard it. Phil Connolly has just planted a seed into Tony Khan's head. So, All Elite Wrestling, hello. We are the WrestleSlam podcast, Ireland's #1 podcast.
Yeah.
We just want to say something, right? Phil Connolly has just mentioned the scenario with John Moxley and OTT.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So,
yeah.
Tony Khan, I believe the show starts at 6 p.m. How about you have a little match with OTT? LJ Clary, and I mentioned this as well the other day on Instagram. Imagine LJ Clary coming out to 80,000+ people with a beautiful team and his entrance and just he's great matches. So
that would be a beautiful life moment.
Oh, beautiful life in Wembley Stadium, lads. Imagine the scenes. LJ Clary versus who, Phil? And All Elite. All in.
It's hard to pick because there's so many people deserve it, but I'd probably say the Snake.
I'm gonna be bold here and say maybe Martin Steers. They work with each other so well. We've all seen them right in front of us. Yeah, that'll be some way to actually get people talking about the two lads.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Sammy Guevara, guys.
Yeah, he could.
Oh,
that's the match I want to see. I want to see him up against one of All Elite's finest.
I just think there should be something, because I think WWE used to do it years ago. Remember when you went to the Dublin show, there'd be a local lad.
Yeah.
Remember we all saw one or two local fellas.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Tony Khan, make it happen. Our genius below me, Phil Connolly, has just said.
I'm going to tweet him later.
Yeah, obviously, we were heartbroken when Moxley couldn't come to OTT. Looking, I know John Moxley was as well. But how about you let LJ Clary and some of our finest Irish wrestlers have a match, even if it's a battle royal, doesn't matter. Have a match and shine at Wembley Stadium. But oh my God, imagine LJ Clary guys coming out to the crowd in that.
Speaking of Moxley, just while we're on him, did you see what he said recently in his podcast?
No, I missed it.
He said, "I have this Irish date to make up, so I will be there."
Yeah, no, third time lucky. We got a whiff of that backstage, and I know it's going to happen, but when is the question?
I think he's coming, but I don't know when.
Yeah, but we look forward to it. Phil, what other stuff do you want to cover?
There's a really nice story about an X-Pac and a dog. Did you read that on Twitter? That was
read that. No,
it was a very nice story.
X-Pac, his dog did pass away, was it, or his cat?
His dog passed away recently, but he went to foster a dog, but the dog was blind.
Yeah.
Now they helped the dog, and the dog can see again. So
yeah, probably a cat lax or something. Yeah,
it's a nice story.
X-Pac's a great guy. Absolutely, yeah. I remember meeting him in the Glen Eagle many years ago in Clary. What a guy! One of the greats.
Yeah.
The 1, 2, 3 kid. He's fundamental when it comes to world wrestling. So X-Pac, what a guy.
One last thing on AEW, which is a really weird story in a way, because you know the way they've sold 60,000 for the pay-per-view in August. They're really struggling to sell Vegas for Double or Nothing. They're
I heard about that one.
Really finding it hard to sell any tickets for it.
Yeah. See, the Americans, I suppose, they're so used to having it out there, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you should bring it to Crow Park, Tony Khan. That's another idea for you. Us Irish will fill Crow Park, and you know what I mean. You'll have Wembley and you have Crow Park, 2 mega stadiums. You know.
Phil should just bring all these ideas just to Tony Khan, because I feel like Phil knows the end.
My next thing was in AEW news as well, which I loved. I love this bit of news. Basically, Tony Khan has cancelled both dark shows.
And that's good news.
Well, a lot of people like it, but I'm not a fan of 8-10 squash matches.
Well, it's good. It's good to give talent a shot. That's the good perspective. But they could still maybe do something else, you know.
They should do character work, not matches that mean nothing.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like, I'd love to see character work with Sky Blue, and then she'll build her up, and then she's a contender to fight Tony Storm on even Rampage or Dynamite or something.
Yeah.
Whereas Tony Khan announces, Tony Storm's fighting Sky Blue, and you're like, but like she'll just hammer her. It's just something you just need to work on their characters and work on the believability of them, I suppose.
No, I agree. Jesus, some bombshells via All Elite. I love it. I love it. Phil is All Elite.
There is more AEW. There is more AEW. John Moxley and Kenny Omega in a steel cage match this week.
And there will be blood.
Yeah, and there will be blood.
There will be blood. I feel like Jerry just opened just a forbidden box of just like Phil, just like with AEW news right now. Like, so
there's a twist.
Phil has a fetish for All Elite wrestling.
There's a twist that there'll be no blood in the match.
What?
I'm going to say there'll be no blood in the match. That'd be funny if there was.
They'll both be pumping blood. There's no doubt about
make it happen, Phil. Pitch the idea. Just say blood. We need blood.
Like, I want AEW to succeed, and I love this 60,000 thing. Is great. It's brilliant. But they just need to work better on characters and stuff like that. Just make things make sense.
Every title will change hands.
Yeah.
At All In.
Actually, speaking of All In, there's not on pay-per-view. Did you read that?
Snap.
Not
yet anyway.
They have a pay-per-view the week after All Out.
Until Sky Sports come in and say, fuck you, WWE. You ditched us for BT Sport, and now we're going to broadcast All In on Sky Sports box office.
Yeah, the thing is, people would watch it too, like.
They would. Chalk it done, they would. If they're not there, they're going to watch it. But yeah, so we've had a pretty solid show as usual. Phil Connolly, the message to Tony Khan once again is OTT should have a match at All In Wembley, London. Phil is going to tweet Tony. Tony, please respond.
Phil is dropping out bombshells. Jesus Christ!
I have one more. I have one more.
Phil, for God's sake!
Apparently, Tony Khan has finally gotten creative help. So, yeah. It's a guy that used to work for, I think, Fightful. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but he's been in the business for about 15 years.
Ooh, he's going to be a game changer, so.
He's going to be working as Tony Khan's creative hand.
Tony Khan needs all the hand he gets, he said.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, for a guy that's picked up the reins from not having any with wrestling to being a fan to what he's done now, I think he'd eventually get there, guys. I'm sure Vince was probably the same when he first started, you know.
Yeah.
Well, then again, Vince had times are different than the 80s, you know. But like Vince bought it from his dad. Obviously, Vince was a commentator, but yeah, look, I think in time, Tony Khan will be iconic. And we're all going to be saying, Jesus Christ, you know, we'll forget about the start and we'll remember the end. It's mad. A lot of All Elite wrestling spoilers there towards the end for all you All Elite fans out there. If you have any comments, guys, comment below. We will engage. We will interact. Yet again, the show is brought to you by Manscaped.com and the Coca-Cola Corp. Matt Murphy, what you want to say? Have you got something else to say?
I feel like I was going to say one thing is like we need to get something trending. We need to get Jerry's sunglasses trending, lads.
Yeah, we definitely.
Jerry's
I just have hair fever today, guys. But I'm going to wear the glasses every show now.
You just had a night out and Jelly, you're drunk.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm on a piss all day around Cork.
Fair though, how long are you actually off this week now? Like, you're a long time. You haven't drank in a long time.
Yeah, I packed it out a week after my 21st, and prior to that, I didn't drink. So yeah, it's been about almost 14 years.
Yeah, it's mad.
But everyone, round of applause. Anyone listening to this, give Jerry a round of applause. Come on. Bill, come on, make it up by supporting AEW by round of applause.
Phil is the Mister. Phil is the All Elite wrestling guy. He's all in. Phil is All Elite. I'm going to make a graphic later on. Phil Connolly is All Elite.
You should.
Yeah, I will. I'm not really good at graphic stuff, Phil, but I will try. But anyway, guys, we appreciate you all tuning into our weekly show. Yet again, look, we've changed the whole structure. So the WrestleSlam podcast will now air every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Irish UK time. We record a show on a Monday. Now, we will have a guest on most weeks, so we're not going to say every week because people get busy. But look, we have a number of guests. We have a girl on with us next week, a girl that you know from the Cork scene of wrestling. She's a big fan of wrestling. She's going to be there next week. Matt knows it quite well. Matt was at a podcasting project workshop with her recently, so she's got a great knowledge of wrestling. So yet again, we look forward to that. The Don Tim Cronin returns in due course, and we have made a counter offer to one of the OGs of WrestleSlam.
Yeah.
Will he make that return?
About this guest, I think we were at like a podcast talk, and I did mention about WrestleSlam, and Lily, I just saw her presence like just leaning in, like, and I think that's what history's been made. So that's on the seeds for herself to come on board.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. Yet again, we have made just a new counter offer as we speak. We've increased a bit. Will one of the OGs return? He's been a busy man the last couple of years with his projects and his work. But who knows? We might get one of the OGs back for a show in the next couple of weeks. Do stay tuned. It will be breaking news if it happens. It'll be great to have him back for I suppose a monthly show if he can come on. Yet again, guys, thank you for tuning in. From myself, Jerry Collin, from Philip Connolly, and from Matt Murphy. We thank you for bringing us joy, bringing us good views and a lot of likes, and we need more comments. Please subscribe to us, the WrestleSlam Podcast. We're on Twitter, WrestleSlam, aka Slam Wrestle. And yet again, we'll catch you soon, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.
Hey guys, bye.